Hello, stamping friends. This is Jenny from Celebrate the Journey, and I am joining you on Facebook. As usual, Facebook is kind of, you know, they've let's see they've changed things up on us recently, so it's a little harder to figure out what's going on. But I think I'm here, and it's Monday. It's a little harder to figure out what's going on, but I think I'm here, and it's Monday. I'm sorry, I forgot to turn the sound down. I had used my computer yesterday, so that happens sometimes. But I think we're ready to get started, and so let's talk about fall. It's been a really hot couple days here, and I think the rest of the United States is having a heat wave, but that's all right. We can still get ready for fall. So we're going to do a fall card. We're going to use Hello Harvest and the Rustic Harvest DSP. And this is what it looks like. Usually the calmer side and then this a busier side. These are very pretty. You can color these leaves or you can leave them plain. And this would be great for any kind of masculine card. Gourds and pumpkins, squash, and then some black and white. This gorgeous paper that does all the work for you. Just cut it and you have a card front, put a sentiment, some mums, and some really cute pumpkins. Oh, we got to see what's on the back. Black and white. Some pumpkins and black and white. And then a crushed curry, I guess, and some black and white. It's a very versatile paper and a fun fall stamp set. It also has matching dies that will cut the banners, the pumpkins. These here emboss a pumpkin, and you can cut it out, and let's see, it goes like this, I think, and create a 3D pumpkin. Some fun little swirls. So we'll be using this today. Now this is also watercolor month, and Stampin' Up! Has challenged us to do some watercoloring. I'm not very good at it, but that's okay, because the more you practice, the better you get. So we're going to practice some watercoloring today, and I'll encourage you to join in on it's international, I believe, watercoloring month, and we'll do some watercoloring. I've got a lot of fall colors out here, and I have 2 containers of water, one for clean water and one for cleaning my brush. So we're going to stamp our image with Smoky Slate because I don't want a real dark image. This is called no-line watercoloring, and I think if I stamped off it would be more no-line, but actually I'm not real sure. I think you can use Petal Pink or Blushing Bright and get a better no-line image, but I needed to be able to see the lines. That's also kind of the issue. So we'll stamp our pumpkin. We're going to do the flowers here that we're going to put them on top of our pumpkin. We'll go ahead and stamp them. I think we've got enough room right there. Now these stamp kind of sketchy, which is great for watercoloring. because then you you don't have to worry about staying inside the lines or anything. And then there's a tiny little sunflower. We'll stamp a couple of those on here. Oh, I should have mentioned we're using the Stampin' Up! Watercolor paper. You don't want to use basic white. When you watercolor on it, it'll kind of shred or peel up. So you want to use a watercolor paper. You can use shimmer white, and that will give you a pretty stable base to watercolor on. But we're using the Stampin' Up! Watercolor. So we want our pumpkin to be pumpkin color. So we're going to use Cajun Craze. Now this is how we're going to get our ink. We're going to squeeze this pad so that the pad deposits some ink on the lid. And the first thing though we're going to do is use our watercolor brush. I have a paper towel here, and we're going to get it wet, but not soaking wet. We're just going to lightly wet this. Now we'll just do one because we don't want it to dry. And that'll help with getting the right amount of ink on your watercolor. And I'm using a combination of some just paint brushes and one of our water aqua painters. I realize I probably should get some nicer paint brushes. I don't know, we'll see. Let's see, I think I better put my ink over here so I can, there we go. You don't want it real watery. I think that's what I've learned. You want it more almost a dry brush. And you're going to drag your color up. And of course you want the variation of the colors. And down at the bottom we'll darken it. It gives it some dimension. Lighter at the top, darker at the bottom. Like I said, I've just never been I love the look of watercolor, but I've never had the patience to spend time learning it. But I thought, well, today will be the day. And we'll go ahead and learn some new techniques. We'll come back and catch all these little white spots. But it's beginning to look like a plump little pumpkin, isn't it? I think I can get these at the edges better if I turn it over. almost need to get it a little wetter. All right, let's see what kind of shading. We can still add a little more here, I think. It's a gorgeous pumpkin. Now he needs, well, his stem is going to be underneath the flower, so I'm not really going to worry about coloring the stem. But I would use crumb cake on it, I think, if I was going to color it. So now we'll work on our bouquet of flowers. So we got to clean our brush. And we'll wet our flowers just barely. Not much at all. And I'm going to do my sunflowers with mango. No. I'm going to do them with crushed curry. And we need to get a little more ink on there. Put this one away. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Oh, I see several people are here today. Thanks for joining me. It's hard for me to concentrate and pay attention, but I'm working on it. Oh, I'm glad, you know, I can think about fall cards all the time, Rosalind, because that's my favorite season. Let's see, we might have to just get some ink from here, and we'll pick it up. And now we'll do our little sunflowers. Sunflowers are blooming right now, and everybody wants to, near the airport there's like 3 acres of sunflowers, and you can go there and, you know, have your family photos made. So everybody's going and doing that. Just a fun thing to do. Stand out in the sunflower field. I don't know, not when it's 103 or 106. We're getting, there's one. We'll add some darker color to that. Maybe when it dries, you can go back and add some highlights if you want to. Actually, you know, this is kind of a little bit easier than blends if you pay attention. You need to see that sharp point. That helps to have a nice sharp point on your brush. And let's see if we can add some little dark towards the center. You could use watercolor pencils on this also, and still use the watercolor paper. And we need a couple extras to give some dimension to our card, so we'll go ahead and paint them. The good thing about watercolor, if you go out of the lines, it's fine, because it's supposed to be sketchy and watercolor. All right, let's see, we need some, you got to have some red for the fall, so we're going to use some cherry cobbler. Add a few. This one I managed to get nice and juicy on the lid. Clean that off and get some clear water. And we're going to add these little blossoms here. They're kind of tiny, but they'll give a little pop of red. I know there's more. Where's the other? Oh, there they are, hiding in the corner. And then I think we'll make these be red. That looks about right. All right, now we need some green. Need some green leaves here. So we'll do garden green. Squeeze some ink down there. I am not good at watercoloring, Jamie. You know, I have shaky hands and I like things fast. I'm not real. I want to, but I'm trying. Because there's times you want to do some watercoloring, or you want that look to your cards, because it is a totally different look. You know, evening evergreen would be pretty here, or maybe pear pizzazz. Could do a mix of greens. Well, while I'm coloring, this bundle, Rustic Harvest, we're going to have a one-day retreat in August using this bundle. And I will post that sometime today. You'll have the option of doing the retreat, the PDF, buying the bundle extra. So you'll have lots of choices on this class. I guess it's really a class, and it's maybe. And if you can't be there that day, it's all recorded. So you'll want to read about it on Facebook or on my email, on my newsletter, if you get my newsletter. All right, we had that. I had the Mango Melody out for a reason, just not the sunflowers. We're going to make these little starburst looking things Mango Melody. don't know what they are, but that's what we're gonna do with them. Need a little brightness here. And really all we have to do is touch in the center and it'll kind of bleed out and make that nice and bright. I think we put a little bit of green in there that I might have missed. I have to pay attention there. So let's go back and add that. Look at that pumpkin. Oh man, he's so pretty. Oh, a little too much. We don't want to mess this up. Okay, now we need to do the center of our sunflower. I just made a mess over here with my blocks, I mean my stamp pads, so give me a minute to clean them up. When you have 6 or 7 out, I guess that happens. All right, we'll clean our brush off again. Get some ink there. We'll go ahead and just lightly do crumb cake here in the middle. You'll see how we're going to make that look a little more realistic in a minute. Okay. Now we're going to take just a marker. We'll take soft suede, and these are water-based, so they work as if you were watercoloring. We're just going to put some dots, and since this is wet, they'll kind of bleed in there and give a nice, subtle sunflower seed look. Now, I don't know what all these little flowers are. There's no way I can watercolor that. So I'm going to use Calypso Coral and just add some dots there. And it'll give it a little more color. And I think that'll take care of that. So now we're ready to do some die cutting. And save this. We can use that piece for another pumpkin. So we don't want to waste our watercolor paper. And we'll go ahead and put our dies on here. Put that tape to hold it in place. And I think, Rosalind, what I like the most about fall is it's not so hot. And I love summer, but sometimes it can get too hot. So fall's usually got some warm and cool all mixed together. And now we'll line this up the best we can. This is pretty, it's pretty easy to find where you line that up. Gosh, we're going to be able to cut out several things. It's easy to figure this out because there's a shorter leaves and taller or longer. And so that'll just pop right in there. And we can get that one going. And we'll run this through the cut and emboss machine. One of our flowers. We do need our second flower. Let's hope this, if you were worried about this, I should have been, I fixed that. You could die cut that before you color it, just in case, but it's not really too bad. I think I can just do a little selective trimming there. And here's our pumpkin. We need that extra flower. So we'll cut it. We'll die cut it. Okay, and now we're going to be ready to put our card together. Almost. We got to have a sentiment. So, I'll tell you, I love fall so much. I had made this card for today, thinking, we would enjoy learning watercoloring. But yesterday, I wanted to make wanted to work on Christmas cards. I didn't buy any Christmas sets yet. I don't know what happened. I was so excited to get fall stamp sets. I haven't bought Christmas. So, I guess I'll have to go shopping and get at least one or two, because there's some real cute Christmas sets in the new catalog. Well, I think that was just that one place needed a little extra help. And so now we'll put these to the side. And our sentiment we're going to use is wishing you the loveliest day. And we can do that on just a piece of basic white. And then we'll die cut this label. And run that through. And let's see if we're ready here. Now, I also wanted this to have a little more dimension than just the basic white. But since this is basic white, it's not a real good idea to watercolor on it. But if you're just doing a real light and don't wet it, then we can make that look a little better with some watercoloring. So we'll dry that off, get it clean, get clean water. And we're going to use crumb cake. And let's see, and we're just going to do the back side of the ribbon, or folded side. Do here. I think I could get a little more water. And you do have to be careful, because if you use a lot of water, it'll kind of pill up your basic white. So you don't want it to be very watery. You don't want to go over it and over it and over it. You just want to do it one time and be done. Now we'll let this kind of blend in here. And then I think that looks pretty. Looks better than just plain white. Okay, I think we're done with our watercoloring, but you know we have to have some Wink of Stella on here because of the pumpkin. We're going to trim that side off that pumpkin also. There we makes it a little more balanced. So we're going to just put Wink of Stella. I think Wink of Stella works miracles. Maybe we could use, I wonder if you could use it on your face. Be a glitter person. Doesn't that look so sparkly? It's hard to see on the camera, but it is very frosty. We might even squeeze a little more on there. Double layer. There we go. I think we can even put a little bit on our flowers. Winter first frost. And we'll put it on these little. There we go. And now we'll put our card together. Now I showed you the papers from the Rustic Harvest. And this is the black and white plaid, but then I thought this swirl kind of just would bring the green out. And we're going to layer it on the copper. And since copper is non-porous, we'll use some tear and tape. And we'll have to use it on the tear and tape there on the back side. I think you probably could use Stampin' Seal for this, but I don't have it on my desk today. So we'll go ahead and put this on. Anything but the liquid would just not be, liquid glue just would not stick as well. I feel like this is taking a long time. I'm sorry, but we can chit chat. And now we're ready to put these together. We'll peel the backing off. Ooh, this is always hard, scary. When you use tear and tape, you have to be careful because once it's down, there's no going back. That looks pretty good. I might have trimmed that a tiny bit off, but it's okay. So you know this is celebration time. If you purchase this bundle, you'll have enough to get a free celebration item, which could be those hippos, the pretty papers. Now we'll put this on a basic white card base, thick basic white. So it's always fun to get something free. Do you know the hippos were sold out for a while because of course they're super popular, but they're back in stock now. Put that. So we just get a little border of all three. We got Cajun Craze, Copper, and that looks kind of like Mossy Meadow. And we'll put our sentiment first so we'll know where to put our pumpkin. Okay. We don't want, this is the same with dimensionals. Once you put them on, it's hard to move things around. You can get your heat gun and loosen the adhesive, but if you just remember to do it right the first time, then you won't have a problem. I don't always remember, so it's nice that we have alternatives. Oh, I've seen people use Undo. You can get it at, maybe the big box stores or online. And it works, but it smells terrible. It smells kind of like lighter fluid. Now we're going to put our flowers there. So we only need dimensionals at the top. That's why we didn't color the stem on the pumpkin, because we knew we were going to cover it up. Okay, Karen, I'll see you later. I doubt this is too relaxing, but come back and watch the end. Ooh, okay, drop of glue. Now, I went ahead and pre-cut these swirls that go on the pumpkins, just because I was running things through with scraps. And this is copper. And we'll put one here. Just a little bit of Tombow to hold it down. And we'll put one, I'm going to poke that out, down at the bottom. Remember, we have these pretty little sunflowers we created. We'll put one. Oh, we didn't put Wink of Stella on them, I don't think. We'll have to do that. We'll put one down here like it fell off the bouquet. Where's our, here. Got to put a little shine on that. And you know, if your Wink of Stella will drag some color if you need to make that be a little more blended. It will lightly change the colors. We're going to put this one underneath. I'll slide that one under there. I'll put a little drop of glue there. And then I'm going to hold it down with this pick for a minute. Make sure it stays down. Alright, our card's almost done, but you know we got to have some more bling. So we'll add some champagne rhinestones. Just a second. I need to put a little, oh no, that's going to stay now when I push it down. I thought I needed that there. I might have to hold that a little longer, but we'll put some champagne rhinestones here. Maybe the large one over around here. And then I'm wondering if I just want to take that dimensional off. Maybe that would work better. We do have that option. Might be too tall because it didn't look right. We'll try that again. Nobody will know we took that off. Oh, I like that better flat. Okay, how do you think we did on watercoloring today? Pretty good? I think I probably can get better, but I could be worse. Look how shiny and sparkly it is. So this is the first card of the fall season in July. It's okay. Thanks for joining me. Check your email later today for news about the Rustic Harvest Retreat, and I will see you another time on Facebook. Thanks for joining me today. Bye.